Hello guys and welcome back to another Premier League predictions video. Today we are returning with Game Week 9 after the international break, and we kick off on Saturday morning with an absolute belter. Merseyside derby, Liverpool v Everton at Anfield. And for this first game of the fixture, I've gone for Liverpool to win it by 2-0. Obviously they have a much better record than Everton over recent years in the Merseyside derby. I think it'll be one of those games where obviously both teams are right up for it, but Liverpool just have too much quality. I think they'll win it pretty comfortably, although it is always a bit of a scrap, so I've kept the score down at 2-0. Game 2 sees two of the sides down the bottom of the table battling against each other, struggling at Bournemouth hosting Wolves, who have been on a decent run to be fair to them over the last couple of weeks, and because of that I have gone for Wolves to win this one by 2-1. I think the pressure is starting to build on Iraola at Bournemouth. Wolves, as I say, starting to pick it up, and I think they're going to pick up the 3 points here again. I've gone for a 2-1 victory. Game 3 sees Brentford taking on Burnley at the G-Tech. Brentford struggling in recent weeks, obviously had that collapse at Old Trafford where they were so close to coming away with all 3 points. Burnley have picked it up slightly as well in recent weeks, so I've gone for a 1-1 draw in this one. Brentford have been the draw specialists so far this year, and I think Burnley, having played well over the last couple of weeks, will pick up a point on the road here. Game 4 sees Manchester City back in action after their back-to-back league defeats for the first time in God knows how many years. It's been quite a while, so I'm sure they will be looking for a bounce back. Rodri is back from his suspension, which will make a massive difference for City. I think people are now realising how important Rodri is for them. They've also got the likes of John Stones returning from injury, who will make a massive difference, and being at home I've gone for them to win by 3-1. Next up we have Newcastle hosting Crystal Palace at St James's Park, and I've gone for Newcastle to win this by 2-0. Crystal Palace have been pretty decent defensively this year, whilst Newcastle have been scoring goals for fun. But Newcastle just makes St James's Park such a hard place to visit, so I have gone for them to win it, and I think it will be pretty comfortable for them. Game 6 sees Steve Cooper's Nottingham Forest side taking on Luton Town. Obviously Luton have struggled this year as most expected. Forest are in their second year in the Premier League now since returning, and they've strengthened quite a lot. They're looking pretty decent. Obviously they survived the drop last year, so they'll be looking to become one of those teams that are able to build on that, like we've seen with Brentford and even Crystal Palace, building themselves as an established Premier League team. So Forest are hoping to be here to stay. I've gone for them to pick up another 3 points, beating Luton by 1-0 at the City ground. Next up, big game number 7 sees Chelsea hosting Arsenal at Stamford Bridge. Chelsea have picked up their form over recent weeks after a really poor start, but I have gone for Arsenal to win this by 2-1. Our record against Arsenal hasn't been great over the recent years, and I saw a stat the other day saying that we hadn't actually beaten them since Eden Hazard was in the team. So that was at Stamford Bridge, so it's been quite a while since we've beaten them at home. I'd love to say it will change on Saturday, but I have gone for Arsenal to win it by 2-1. Game 8 sees a struggling Sheffield United side taking on Manchester United at Bramall Lane. And after United picked up that late win against Brentford, obviously halted a little bit of momentum by the international break, but I have gone for them to return with another victory here, winning once again by 2-0, which is a popular scoreline this fixture. Game 9 sees two of the Claret and Blue sides taking on each other. Aston Villa hosting West Ham at Villa Park. And this was a really tough one to predict because West Ham have been picking up some really good results this year. But Villa's home form under Unai Emery is absolutely fantastic. So I've actually gone for them to nick it by 2-1. I think it'll be a really tight game. Was tempted to go for a draw, but Villa's record at home, I had to go for them to win. And then the final game of the fixture takes place on Monday night with Tottenham hosting Fulham in a London derby. In this one, I've gone for Spurs to carry on their good start to the season and win by 3-1. And additionally, this is also my joker game for the fixture. So we're leaving it late this week, hoping to pick up a 6-pointer because I think we've had maybe one or maybe not even one all season long. So we desperately need to pick up a nice big 6-pointer to move us back up the league. League. Speaking of, let's go and find out how we finished off in Game Week 8. Okay then guys, here is the table, and you can see we have faltered a little bit, dropping down to a joint 11th place with 67 points. It's all still pretty tight, but there is a gap starting to appear now, 9 points up to my mate Griffin in 4th. So yeah, we didn't have a very good Game Week 8, so looking to bounce back with some positive results here in Game Week 9. Can see in the fixture we only picked up 5 points from the 10 games, 4 correct results, and our joker got us an extra bonus point as well. But my dad picked up 10 points, Callum got 8, and my mate Griffin struggled with only 4. So even having a really poor week, he still remains up in 4th place. And here you can see a full breakdown of the results. We didn't do particularly well, no 3-pointers. I thought I was on for a few on Sunday. I thought potentially Villa might have won this game. Newcastle were on for the 2-1 victory against West Ham until Kudus scored late, and Liverpool on another day could have scored a third to take the game away from Brighton. But yeah, pretty disappointing in the end. We got a point for the draw between Palace and Forest, Fulham beating Sheffield United, Chelsea beating Burnley, and our joker on the opening game of the fixture was Spurs to beat Luton. So overall, not a very good week. We were also close with the Man United-Brentford game, which we had at 1-1. It ended up being 2-1, and there was quite a few people who actually had 2-1 annoyingly. So that late goal from McTominay really swung the points. But we're looking to get back on the horse this week and hopefully pick up some more big points to push us up the table. That will do it for today's video though, guys. I will catch you in the next episode for Game Week 10 very soon. Peace.